ম্যাডাম আপনি স্টার্ট করতে পারেন, আমি রেকর্ড করে দিয়েছি, স্টার্ট করুন। ম্যাডাম আপনার মিউট করা আছে, আপনার মাইক্রোফোনটা মিউট করা আছে।
হ্যাঁ বলছি, ওরা একবার চ্যাট বক্সে না ইয়েটা লিঙ্কটা পাঠিয়ে দিতে বলছে, তো আমি তো এরকম খুলে করতে পারবো না, তুমি কি আমাকে একটু বলে দিতে পারবে? তাহলে আমি মেসেজ বক্সে ওটা লিখে দিচ্ছি।
मैम आप अपने
हेलो।
ग्रुप में जाइए, जिस ग्रुप का आप एडमिन हैं,
अच्छा
जिसमें आप शेयर करती हैं उस ग्रुप में जाइए और डिस्क्रिप्शन में शेयर विया लिंक होगा, वहां से आप मीटिंग के थ्रू चैट बॉक्स में आप शेयर कर दीजिए।
আচ্ছা ম্যাডাম, ওরা কি এখানে চ্যাট বক্সের লিংকটা চাইছে?
यस सर, हम वही बोल रहे थे।
नहीं नहीं, अभी अभी चैट बॉक्स में तुमको जरूरत है क्या?
हाँ सर, उसी के थ्रू हम लोग ज्वाइन हो जाते हैं मैम के ग्रुप में।
ओ, तुमने व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप का लिंक तुमको चाहिए ना?
यस सर, यस सर।
ও না ম্যাডাম, হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ গ্রুপে তো আপনার ওই গ্রুপে তো আমি নেই, ওই গ্রুপের লিংক করা চাইছে। ঠিক আছে, तुमको बाद में मिल जाएगा। ঠিক আছে ম্যাডাম, ওরা তো ওই হোয়াটসঅ্যাপে আপনার লিংকটা চাইছে, যেহেতু আমি গ্রুপটাতে নেই। আপনি আরম্ভ করে দিতে পারেন, আমি রেকর্ড স্টার্ট করে দিয়েছি। ম্যাডাম আপনার মাইক্রোফোনটা মিউট করা আছে।
হ্যাঁ, বলছি যে ওরা কি চাইছে যে ওদেরকে আমি গ্রুপে ইনক্লুড করে নেব?
এক্স্যাক্টলি এক্স্যাক্টলি।
তা সেটা তো সন্ধ্যেবেলায় করলেও হবে, তাই না?
হ্যাঁ, কোনো অসুবিধা নেই।
यस
ওরা
यस
আপনার
मैम, आप शाम को आप कर दीजिएगा।
ওরা
हाँ
शाम को
बेटा,
कर
वो
दीजिए, तभी आप
7
क्लास करवा लीजिए।
बेटा 7 बजे के,
হোল্ড অন প্লিজ ম্যাডাম,
शाम
আপনি
को 7 बजने के बाद।
আপনি আপনার এই হোয়াটসঅ্যাপ নাম্বারটা চ্যাট বক্সে দিয়ে দিন, ওরা নোট করে নিন, তারপরে ওরা ওখান থেকে
ও
রিকোয়েস্ট করবে।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা
ব্যাস, ঠিক আছে।
আচ্ছা 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 আচ্ছা, ঠিক আছে ঠিক আছে।
गुड मॉर्निंग मैम।
गुड मॉर्निंग।
ম্যাডাম আপনি ক্লাস আরম্ভ করতে পারেন।
হ্যাঁ, ওই যে ওই নাম্বারটা পাঠিয়ে দিই ওদেরকে।
আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে, ঠিক আছে। ইন্দ্রাণী বিধানচন্দ্র কলেজ, এটা কি দুর্গাপুর?
नो सर, आसनसोल।
আসানসোল, ইয়েস ইয়েস ইয়েস, সরি, আসানসোল।
यस सर।
Okay, now can we start, students?
यस मैम, यस मैम।
Yes. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Today we have yesterday we have completed block 1. Today we shall start with block 2, and this is my plan that I shall try to finish both unit 1 and unit 2. Unit 1, the title of the unit 1 is understanding the nature of language. Okay, understanding the nature of language. We shall start from page 6, that is 1.2. So please open page 6. This unit is about the nature of understanding what is a language, what is our national language, and how this language is created. All these things are there. You have to read the text written by one writer, Amrita Rai, Amrita Rai. The text is from 1.3, that is in page number 6. But before going to original text, we shall read the introduction about the writer, and then we will go to the text itself. So, have you got it? The text, mm, excerpt, understanding Hindavi, 1.3. And before starting the text, I shall read about the author. 1.2, about the author, Amrit Rai. Who was the writer? Amrit Rai was a prolific Hindi novelist. Prolific means another synonym of prolific is one who writes too much, one who is uh, very much abundant in producing his work of literature. One who can write hugely. He has too many books. He is called prolific writer. For example, Rabindranath was a prolific writer. He wrote thousands of poems, plays, novels, etc. etc. Amrit Rai was a prolific Hindi novelist, a critic, and a translator. He is renowned in academic circles for his definitive biography of Premchand, Kalam Ki Sipahi, which won him Sahitya Academy Award in 1963 and later Soviet Land Nehru Award in 1971. He also wrote several novels such as Dhuan, Sargam, Hathi Ke Daant, etc. He translated Shakespeare's play Hamlet into Hindi and wrote critical works such as Nai Samiksha, Vichardhara और साहित्य versatile in many languages. Versatile is another new word which we have got in the previous class. Versatile means one who is efficient in many things. He is called versatile. Two new words we have come to contact with here. One is prolific. Prolific means one who can write abundantly in much number, and versatile is one who can write in every aspect. One who can write, can create picture, can make film. He is called versatile. Satyajit Ray was a versatile genius. He was versatile in many languages. Amrit Rai was a person who knew many languages. He also wrote one of the most significant works on the Hindi-Urdu debate in English, A House Divided, the origin and development of Hindi. This last line is important for us. The text which we are going to read now, which is in your syllabus, is a part or an excerpt, is an extraction from his book, A House Divided. What is the subject matter of that book? The origin and development of Hindi or Hindavi. The word Hindi, or which is synonymous to Hindavi, how it is originated, how it developed, that was the subject matter which we are now going to read and which is in your text, which you have to attempt for your examination. So we are coming to page number 6, 1.3. Please see it. Before we move further in pursuit of these aspects and comprehend means to understand how social life involves us in working of a language, let us take a look at the following argument that Amrita Rai presented in one of his books, A House Divided. I quote a passage from the beginning of a chapter titled A House Divided. This offers a comprehensive view of the issue we are discussing in this unit. The passage is as follows. From here, the text starts, A House Divided. Within this piece, the author is giving us the description, how the language Hindi is developed, how it spread itself throughout the country, and what is its present position and what it should be its present position. All these things will be discussed here. Sometimes the word Hindi is used also in a general sense. As noted by Grierson, Grierson was a famous linguist. Linguist means one who is expert in language. He is called linguist, Linguist, linguist. One of the famous lines of the famous linguist Grierson is that it is a Persian word and not a Indian word, and properly signifies a native of India, as distinguished from a Hindu or a non-Muslim Indian. In this sense, Bengali and Marathi are as much Hindi as languages of the Doab. Doab is also a new word. Hindi, the word Hindi, which we usually think that it is a Hindi word. No, it is not originally a Hindu word. It is a Persian word. Hindi was originally a Persian word and not at all an Indian word. Properly, that signifies what in Persian it means or meant. It used to mean in Persian when it was written in Persian. Any native of India, any person, any native, whether he is a Kashmiri or a Bengali or a South Indian, is a Hindi, a native of India, as distinguished from a Hindu. And Hindi is different from Hindu. Hindu word means non-Muslim, and Hindi means anyone who stays in India, anyone who is a citizen of India. And in that sense, Bengali, Marathi, and as much as Hindi as the language of the Dwab. Therefore, any language of India, it is maybe Hindi, Bengali, Marathi, Uriya, all the languages of Dwab. Dwab means which is the land between the two rivers, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra. All these languages are called, can be brought under one bracket that is called Hindi. However, at various places, Khosrow is Amir Khosrow, whose name we have come to know in the previous chapter. Amir Khosrow uses the word Hindi in the specific sense of the language, and that naturally the language of northwestern India, with which the Muslims first came in contact in Punjab and then in Delhi. So the word Hindi was originally a Persian word, and Amir Khosrow is the person who used this word Hindi because they came from Persia. And Amir Khosrow used this word Hindi regarding the language of those people staying in northwestern India, north of India, and the western part means Delhi and other sides, Delhi and surrounding Punjab and those places, with which Muslim first came in contact with in Punjab and in Delhi. Speaking of this Hindi language, Khusro had occasion to comment, and while discussing about the language of Hindi, uh, Khusro said that I shall be wrong if I do not say what I know to be true. The Hindi word is in no way inferior to Persian, with the exception of Arabic, which is ahead of all languages. It is better than all others. For example, the language of Ray and Ram, places in Iran and Turkey respectively, are after careful thought found to be inferior to Hindi. So, in one word, Amir Khosrow, who was a great scholar and who knows so many languages like Persian, Arabic, Hindi, Urdu, and many Indian languages also, he said that Hindi is most sweet and most beautiful language after Arabic. According to Khosrow's knowledge, Arabic language is most beautiful language, most sweetest language of the world. And after that, it is Hindi, the language of the North Indian people, which North Indian people used to speak when Amir Khosrow came to India. For example, the language of Ray and Ram are the two places in Turkey, and after careful thought find to be inferior to Hindi. Any other language other than Arabia, even the language of to Turkey, and other languages, Persian and others, were second to Hindi. So according to him, according to Amir Khosrow, Arabic language is the most beautiful, sweet language, and next to that there is Hindi, and after that other languages. Next slide. Then further reinforcing his opinion, then rather making his opinion more strong. To reinforce means to make something more strong. If you ask me about the expressive power of this language, do not think of it as less than that of any other. Elsewhere, he says that regarding the expressing power of expression, this language, Hindi language, is one of the most beautiful languages. Elsewhere, referring to Masood Salman, an earlier poet, Khusro says, no other prince of poetry before now had three divans. I am the only one who has, and so I am verily the king of my domain. True, Masood Salman is credited with three divans, one each in Arabic, Persian, and Hindi. But I am the only one who has three such collections in Persians alone. Divan is collection of poems. Divan, the word means collection of poems. Justifying his view that you can take my view, Khasru says, justifying his opinion that you can take my view as something authentic. I can say that one of the best poets of Persia, Masood Salman, he wrote three divans. And among these three divans, one was in Arabic and one is Persian and one is Hindi. But I, means Khosrow, I am the only one who has three such collections in Persian alone. So I am authentic, Khosrow says. Next line. Speaking of the same poet, Masood Salman, Muhammad Aufi says he has three big collections of poems, one in Arabic, another in Persian, and third in Hindi. Another author, his name is Muhammad Aufi, he is also saying that that poet, what is his name? Masood Salman is a great poet because he has written three divans. Next line. All these are not very important. The important points I will give you. It is to be noted that Khosrow and Aufi refer to the same language as Hindi. This is important. And Hindavi. So by giving us quotation from two authors, one is by Khosrow and that is by Muhammad Aufi, the author is trying to say that they are telling about the language of India, northern India, as Hindi or Hindavi. I would thus be safe, it would thus be safe to assume means to consider here, to assume that the two words are interchangeable. Therefore, Hindi and Hindavi are the same word, interchangeable word. Therefore, I shall also in the course of this study use the term Hindi or Hindavi for the language under review. And if in the interest of brevity, brevity means shortness. If you want to tell something in short, then you will tell, please maintain brevity, make it short. Brevity means quality of being short, small. And if in the interest of brevity, Hindi alone is used, it is clearly to be understood that I use it exactly the same sense as did Aufi and Khosrow, and that it is not intended to mean modern or standard Hindi, or what Grierson called high Hindi. The author, that is Amrit Rai, is saying, I am here in my essay House Divided is trying to say about the language Hindi or Hindavi that has been upheld, that has been appreciated by Khosrow and Aufi and Muhammad Salman, and about which Grierson had wrote in his book as Hindi, though Grierson has called it as High Hindi. What is High Hindi? We will come to know. Yes, yes,
Ma'am, sorry for
yes,
interrupting.
please.
What is Hindi?
Hindi and Hindavi the same word. Actually, when the Persians came to India, they used to talk in their own language, that is Persian language. And when they came to Delhi, they came to know that people here are talking in a way which is not Persian. Most of the people are talking in the same way, whether he belonged to Punjab or he belonged to Kashmir or he is a Delhi person. So, as because they know India as Hindi, those who are the students of history, they know that India is called as Indus civilization. Can you remember Indus civilization? So the people of other countries, that means Arabian countries, used to tell Indian people as Hindi people, Hindi. Means which sometimes said Hindi chini bhai use it. Here Hindi does not mean that Hindi opposite to Bengali. Here Hindi means anything belonging to India. So when Persians came to India, and in order to implicate, in order to give the name, they made the word Hindi, suggesting anyone belonging to India. That is, and the language they speak is Hindi or Hindavi. Okay, clear? Hindi or Hindavi is the same word. Some pronounce it as Hindi and some pronounce it Hindavi. Okay, is it clear now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Next, come to the next slides. Mm, whereas I, Hi Hindi. It would seem that this use of the word Hindvi is much the same as Gilchrist Hindui. Hindui I have treated as an exclusive property of the Hindus alone and have therefore constantly applied to the old language of India. Gilchrist is also another linguist who says Hindu or Hinduism is an old language which is used by the people of India and which prevailed before the Muslim invasion. And that language was
And
in
that
India.
excuse was in India.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes,
yes, please tell what you
yes,
want.
please tell what you
Please tell, I cannot
please
understand.
tell I cannot understand.
What I say, tell
What
me.
was it?
Ma'am, which is the page number? तुम्हारा mic problem
Eh,
क्यों
My
हो रहा
mic
है?
problem.
I cannot understand what you are
Because
saying. Please, any one of you whose voice I can understand, whose mic is proper, please tell what is the problem. Or please write in your message box so that I can see and rectify. If there is some problem in my teaching, please tell it. Please open your mic, anyone, and tell what is the problem. May I continue, or is there anything which you want to understand better?
yes, I will continue.
No problem. No problem. Can I go on?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So in this quotation, the small quotation, you see the in the middle of the paragraph, it is a small 6 lines paragraph. The another linguist, another specialist in language, he says that the language which people of India used to speak was Hindui. He is pronouncing it as Hinduwe, means Hindavi or Hindi, the same thing. And this was a language which was there in practice even before Musalman, that means the Mughal emperors came before the Musalman invasion, and in fact now constitute among them the basis of the groundwork of the Hindustani, a comparatively recent superstructure composed of Arabic and Persian. And he says that language, which was originally in existence before the Musalman came, was the basis of Hindustani language. Hindustani language means the language which majority of the people of India, North India, used to speak. And in latter years, words from Arabic and Persian have been added to it. Okay, next para. First, let me finish the text and then I shall try to give you some points. I think then you will better understand it because all these things are very difficult for a first year student, a bit specialized for language and literature, not for you. It would have been better if they had given a story. I advisedly say much the same because Gilchrist's basic characterization of the language as the old language in India, which prevailed before the Mohammedans' invasion, is acceptable, but with some important reservations. First, it does not seem right to describe Hindui or Hindubi as the exclusive property of the Hindus alone. Some of these greatest poets of Hindi are Muslims. One thing that if we say that Hindi is spoken only by the Hindus, no, that is not. Some of the best persons in literature are Muslims. Secondly, to refer Hindui as the old language in India, which prevailed before the Musalman invasion, seems to imply that the development of Hindui or Hindi came to a stop after the Musalman invasion. And if we think that Hindui is something which was there before the Muslims came, no, that will mean that growth of the Hindi language has been stopped by when the Muslims came. But that did not happen. This was not so. As we go
But your
along,
voice
and
is not clear.
my voice is not clear. As we go along, now is it clear? As we go along and trace the development of this language,
we shall see that it had a natural and quiet, uninterrupted growth until several centuries after the Muslim invasion. The author says,
just understand the gist that this language, which was before the coming of the Muslim invaders, Mughals, it was there and it continued to be there, and it slowly it developed much and came to the modern form. In the light of the foregoing remarks, present study is in the first place a research into the earliest origins of the Hindi or Hindibi, and secondly a socio-linguistic inquiry into the causes that led at some point in time to its division into two separate languages. This is important. The author says that not only the Hindi continues from the before the coming of the Muslims, but in course of time, slowly the Hindi language diverted itself and divided itself into two languages. That is standard or high Hindi and standard or high Urdu, as we know them today, and also as they are known in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution. This is very important for your knowledge, for your general knowledge, as well as for this essay. The author says Hindi language, therefore, continued to grow, and it rose even under the Mughal emperors and came slowly. It was divided into two parts. One is Hindi and another is Urdu. But actually, they are the same language. According to the author, Hindi and Urdu cannot be the two languages. They are the same language, but in course of time, they have divided because Hindi used the Devanagari script and Urdu used the Persian script, but actually both are the same language. But unfortunately, due to political reasons, they have been included in the 8th schedule of the Indian Constitution as two separate languages, but they are actually one language. However, their recognition as two separate languages under the Constitution need not deter. Deter means to put obstacle to, badha dewa, to deter verb. That it deters me, corona deters us to be present in the classroom. Deter করা মানে বাধা দেওয়া. Language under the constitution need not deter linguists from questioning the scientific validity of the separation. For example, Gyanchand, a noted Urdu scholar, says, the author says there is no validity that why the political leaders and linguists have divided Hindi and Urdu as two languages. It is one author says, one Urdu scholar, Gyanchand, he says, it is absolutely clear that Urdu and Hindi are not two separate languages. To call them as two languages is to belie. Is to belie means মিথ্যে করে দেওয়া, to make it false. Lie মানে মিথ্যে. To call them two languages is to belie all principles of linguistics and to deceive oneself and other. According to Gyanchand, who is a Urdu scholar, he says that according to the theory of linguistics, ভাষাতত্ত্বের নিয়ম অনুযায়ী যদি আমরা দেখি তাহলে Hindi and Urdu cannot be two languages. But when the people, constitution makers have included it, they for their own advantage had made it two languages. Even though Urdu literature and Hindi literature are two different and independent literatures, Urdu and Hindi are not two different languages. Enumerate kara means to evaluate, মূল্যায়ন kara. Enumerating means whenever you get in a new word, please write down the meaning of it so that your vocabulary will be rich. Therefore, in the very first class, I have asked you, and I always ask the students, that whenever you sit in the class, open your book and at the same time open your script, your notebook, and keep a pen with it. You have to pick up anything you know from the teacher in the running class note. Pick it up and write it down, and after the class is ended, at your own leisure time, read it and try to remember what teacher had said it, what it had been used, and exercise them. In that way, you will be able to perfect your language. Enumerating Urdu and Hindi, enumerating means evaluating. Urdu and Hindi as two languages in the Indian Constitution as is political expediency. Expediency means advantage. In order to get political advantage,
Hindi and Urdu has been included in Indian constitution as two different languages and not a linguistic reality. But actually, from the linguistic point of view, from the point of view of linguistic কথাটার মানে হলো anything relating to language, that is linguistic. From linguistic reality, from the point of the nature and origin and truth of language, these two languages cannot be separated. Now it is almost
15 minutes to 12. We have um, next item in 1.6 that is also relevant like this. Now I have some notes. If you think it necessary for you to write down notes, not notes, just the things that I used to give you in the class, some points. If you want that I should give the points, then it will take some time. Or if you allow, I can skip the points. The text I have read, I have analyzed, I think you will be able to understand. If it is okay, then I can go to the next part of our syllabus so that I shall be able to finish both the units today. Please open your mic and say your opinion. What is your suggestion? What do you want? Because we have,
Ma'am, if you give the points, then it will be easier.
if I give the points, if that will be easier. Okay. In that
Yes,
case,
ma'am.
please be quick because I want to complete the syllabus. At the end of my tenure, we shall get 10 classes, isn't it? So I want to finish it. It is my target always. So please open your
Okay, ma'am.
notebook, be a bit quick, and use abbreviation. I have said you that when you will write Hindi, don't write full Hindi. H, capital H. You will understand this is Hindi. Modern, capital M. Yes, famous, FAMS. Later on, you will develop it so that we will be able to go quickly. So,
Okay,
point
ma'am.
number one from 1.3, point number one. Point number one, the text is from a house divided. It is from a house divided. It is from a house. When you will be writing the answer, take help of these points. It is from a house divided. Write down the name of the book in capital letter A capital, H capital, D capital, and all the three words will be underlined. Remember, whenever you write a name of a book or a poem, always underline it. So this is taken from a house divided. Point number two. It shows the origin of Hindi slash Hindavi. It shows the origin of Hindi slash Hindavi. That means this piece shows, gives us that how Hindi was originated. Next point. Next point. It also investigates. It also investigates. The essay also investigates the causes. It also investigates the causes that led to its division. That led to its divisions. Led to its divisions. What are the divisions? After dash, divisions dash, Hindi and Urdu. Full stop. Next point. These two divisions are now modern Hindi and modern Urdu. Modern Hindi or modern Urdu and modern Urdu. Modern Hindi and modern Urdu. Full stop. Next point. As per Grierson, Grierson spelling G-R-I, capital G, name of a person. G-R-I-E-R, Grierson. As per Grierson, comma, the famous linguist spelling, the famous linguist, Linguist. As per Grierson, comma, the famous linguist comma, the word Hindi is a Persian word, P capital, Persian, is a Persian word meaning a native of India, meaning a native of India, meaning a native of India. Full stop. Next point. Hindi here does not mean. Hindi here does not mean Hindus or non-Muslimans. Hindi here does not mean Hindus or non-Musliman. Full stop. Next point. So,
do you like Musliman or Muslim?
whatever, Muslim, you can like Muslim or Musliman. The word is they have used here as Musliman. Both can be written.
Okay.
Full stop. Next point. So the word Hindi, H capital within single quotation. So the word Hindi may be applicable for Bengali or Marathi or Odia or Assamese also. Full stop. Bengali or next point. Bengali or Marathi can also be termed as a language of Doab. Language will abbreviate LGG. We'll abbreviate language as LGG. Abbreviate means we make it small, short, but don't write it in your examination script. While you are writing the answer of examination, please language the full. But now for taking note, Bengali or Marathi can also be termed as a language of Doab, D capital, D-O-A-B, Doab. Doab is a vast area of India, from northern India to southern India, part of southern India, a large area. Doab Anchol, those who have read history in small primary.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, please repeat this Bengali or Marathi.
Can be also turned as language of Doab. Language of Doab. Have you got my message that I have given my phone number and asked you to call me after 7?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
So,
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
will you please tell me in my phone there is a page and there is one send a message to everyone here, but I have already sent the message. So how I will go back? May I go back? Or you will cut off if I go back? I shall go out of the meeting. Do you know anything about it? You don't know, perhaps. So half of the screen is covered with this message page. I don't know what to do. So, however,
मैम
you
आप
can
ड्रैग
understand.
करके मैम आप ऊपर से
Oh,
नोटिफिकेशन ड्रैग करके ये कीजिए, मीटिंग पे क्लिक कीजिए, आपका आ जाएगा.
नहीं मीटिंग पर है मैं देखिए ये जो एक पेज है ना वो नीचे का पोर्शन कवर कर दिया तो उसे कैसे हटाया जाएगा वो तो बैक में करेंगे तो हम बाहर मीटिंग से बाहर चले जाएंगे ना
मीटिंग से
आपको
बाहर
मालूम
चली जाए.
ठीक है छोड़ दो अच्छा नेक्स्ट पॉइंट आमिर खसरू said quotation mark Amir Khusro said within quotation mark start quotation Hindi is no inferior to Persian. Persian dash. Arabian is the best language. After dash, Arabian is the best language. Arabian is the best language.
मैम चली गई।
हेलो।
अरे हाँ मैम शायद चली गई।
हाँ,
अरे वो
हेलो
शायद
शुभन्विता।
वो बैक कर रही थी ना तो
हाँ
शायद हो गया। आएंगे आएंगे wait करो।
अ, हेलो।
क्या
हेलो।
हुआ क्या हुआ बोलो।
हाँ, 7 नंबर पॉइंट मुझे थोड़ा रिपीट करो ना, फर्स्ट लाइन। सो द वर्ड हिंदी, उसका बाद।
सो द वर्ड हिंदी में बी लिखा तुमने नहीं लिखा तुम 7 नंबर
हाँ
पे हो।
हाँ लिखा। नहीं नहीं, मैं लिखी हूँ, सिर्फ मिस कर गई एक तो वर्ड बस। मे बी एप्लीकेबल, उसका बाद ना।
हाँ मे बी सॉरी एप्लीकेबल फॉर द बंगाली और मराठी
हाँ
उड़ीसा असमी आल्सो।
हाँ ठीक है, वही मे बी हम मिस कर गए इसलिए। ठीक है, थैंक यू।
वेलकम। मैम नहीं आएंगी क्या।
What is the spelling in the point number 5? Great son or greater son? Can somebody help in that thing? Great son. Point number 5. As per great son,
ग्रेसन
the
स्पेलिंग
yes,
स्पेलिंग
great son. Yes, spelling.
GIRERSON
GIR
ERSON।
ERSON. GIRERSON. Right?
हाँ यस यस।
Thank you. Thank you so much.
मैम नहीं आएंगी क्या।
शायद मैम नहीं आएंगी।
सर भी तो लेफ्ट हो गए, अब मैम को कौन एडमिन करेंगे।
मैम को कॉल कर लो ना। नंबर दिया ना मैंने।
हेलो नेहा।
हाँ
हेलो।
बोलो।
2 नंबर पॉइंट थोड़ा रिपीट करोगी?
कौन सा नंबर।
2 नंबर पॉइंट मैम लिखवाई थी जो।
3
Sorry, beta.
नंबर।
2 2।
2। अरे यार तुम तो बहुत पीछे हो। अच्छा मैं ग्रुप में मैसेज कर दूंगी ठीक है।
Sorry, beta. Sorry.
कोई बात नहीं मैम।
Beta, how far I
इट्स ओके
had been?
मैम।
I got out of it as one of your friends. fortunately told me by calling you her phone. Actually, I have been trying to remove that page and I did something wrong. So how far we have written? You have written
Ma'am, you have told Amir Khusro said Hindi is no inferior to Persian. Arabian is the best language.
language. Dash. After that, after that, it is Hindi. After that, it is Hindi. Full stop. Next point. After that, it is Hindi. Full stop. Next point. The writer, next one, the writer Amrit Rai says, the writer Amrit Rai says that in his essay, in his essay, he had made use of the word Hindi. He had made use of the word Hindi or Hindavi, Hindavi, Hindi or Hindavi, in the sense, in the sense Amir Khosru used. In the sense Amir Khosru used. In the sense Amir Khosru used, and not as high Hindi or modern Hindi. Not as high Hindi or modern Hindi. Okay? Not as high Hindi or modern Hindi. One point more, this is also important, though it is not directly in your text, but you should know it. I have told it earlier, by, but I was then out of the meeting. Hindi, last point of this uh, area. Hindi uses Devanagari script. Hindi uses Devanagari script. Devanagari spelling D capital Debnagari. Devanagari script. Which one is Devanagari? Sanskrit script. That is called Devanagari script. Hindi uses Devanagari script and Urdu uses Persian script. And Urdu uses Persian script. P-E-R, P capital, full stop. In a long historical process, in a long historical process, in a long historical process, modern Hindi and modern Urdu assumed, A-S-S-U-M-E-D, assume means to take shape, S-H-A-P, shape, रूप नेवा, to take the form of, assumed different shapes and seem to look different from each other, and seem to look different from each other, seem to look different from each other, but actually they are not. But actually they are not. Full stop. Actually they are not. So the points that I have given you, you can use them in toto and just add a few more lines and then you will get the answer. What is Amrit Rai's point of view regarding Hindi or Hindavi? You can write it within 200 words. What is Amrit Rai's point of view regarding Hindi or Hindavi? Just write down, these are the skeletons I have given. You just put down a few places from your text and you will get the whole answer. Next, I will start with point number 1.6, that is your text. Point number 1.6. Have you got the text? This text is more difficult than the earlier text. Therefore, I will not ask you to read it. I will ask you to read it at home after I give you some points. Okay. I'll read one or two some paragraphs, and then I will give you points, and then I will ask you to read it at home at your own leisure, if you like. If you don't like, don't read it. So may I go to next part 1.6? Language,
Yes, ma'am.
culture, and power. The case of Hindi. So we have started with Hindi or Hindi. Then we are now coming to modern Hindi. How we are coming here and what happened? Actually, what is language? Language is nothing but a mode of communication. It is the way by which you can talk with others. So when you are staying in one particular country, you should always desire that you can talk with any person belonging to any part of the country. So there should have been a language which can be spoken and understood by everybody in the country. But that did not happen in our case. In India, northern people cannot speak. Northern people are not understood by the southern people, and southern people, those who are talking are completely Greek and Roman to us. But why this happened? How this happened? And who is responsible for this? All these things are discussed here. It will get jumbled up. I will just read a few lines and then I will give you points and go to the next. It makes sense that a language taking shape through cultural ups and downs and becoming effective means of communication finally should be adopted to preserve time-tested norms. The vocabulary it picked up from active social usage contained seeds of growth and evolution that would ensure continuation with the change-oriented past. They would also equip its new users with skills of learning and experimenting so useful for taking society forward. What is the necessity of language? Necessity of language is to communicate and to take the community forward. You can write, you can have scientific treatises, you can discuss, and all these things are necessary for language. Yet, there are hurdles on the way. A vast country with a rich variety of ideas and attitudes deeply conscious about identity. I would think twice before accepting policies and strategies proposed by distinctly situated intellectuals. The national movement had a dynamism of its own. It was a broad-based and highly sophisticated in terms of sorting out needs of the specific context. The leadership had an eye on an integrated India. This part is important. The leadership had an eye on an integrated India, and they sought guidance from the desired unity of people against a common enemy. Who was our common enemy? British Empire, the British people. So the moment when the country was being united, we know that country is full of diversity. There are so many provinces speaking their own language or their own identity. But when national movement was taking shape, when the people of our country were trying to establish their right for freedom, they wanted a common language with which they can talk with their adversary, with their enemy. Who is their enemy here? The British people. So they selected a particular language, the Khari Boli. The Khari Boli. Khari Boli is the, in its Hindi Urdu combination, had proved to be an effective tool to expand the nationalist message opposing the colonial regime. So the people who were in the leadership of the movement, like Nehru, Gandhi, all those people, those um, better and respected people who led the movement, they felt the need of a national language, a language which could be understood by majority of the people. And they selected Khari Boli. Khari Boli is a particular Hindi which is spoken by the northwestern India and Delhi people. And Gandhiji was major supporter of accepting Khari Boli as the medium of language for expressing our ideas throughout India, nationalist message. Though Gandhiji himself was Gujarati speaking, whatever it may be. So in this way, this language was undertaken, and the our movement continues, and we got freedom. But unfortunately, nothing happened like that. That we got a language which could be understood by everybody. No, that did not happen. Why happened? That is discussed here thoroughly within this whole piece, which we will not read fully. I'll give you the points. Actually, it happened that we got the freedom. When after freedom, we realized the necessity of a national language. But the country was then undergoing through the development process. People in the top, in the leadership, were giving emphasis more on education, on developing industry, and bringing out the downtrodden people from the utter poverty to the middle class, and these things they took more emphasis. And after independence, language movement started within India, and it continued from 1920. It had started actually, but during the high time of nationalism movement, it was stopped for some time, and then again it took place during the 1950s. And so many countries, societies, so many provinces said that their language should be given priority. And in later years also, so many states have been divided. Chhattisgarh had been divided, Tamil Nadu had been divided. All these are on the basis of language. So it continued. And the author laments that due to deficient language policy, we could not still now develop a national language, a language which could be understood, could be understand, in which everybody can read and write, and India can proceed and progress. That there is a language in Japan, there is a language in England and France. But unfortunately, there is no such language. We feel the need of it. So please write down the points, and then if you think you will read it, the whole of the text. May I go telling you about this? Your text is from page number 11 to page number 13. If you want to read it, point number 1.6, page number will be from 11 to 13. Okay, you have written it, and then start writing points. Point number 1. May I tell? Language takes shape through cultural ups and downs. Language takes shape through cultural ups and downs, and thus gradually takes the society forward, and thus gradually takes the society forward, thus gradually takes the society forward. Now try to understand this. This is the point. Language is a living thing. Language is not only a means of communication. Language is a pursuit of knowledge. Language is everything without which you cannot express your identity. Language is something which you cannot represent yourself to the United Nations, to the whole of the world. You cannot represent a discovery which you have made in science. You have made something beautiful. You cannot completely tell about it to the world unless you know your language, and unless you do it in your language. And language is not developed within one day. It grows slowly in course of time, and throughout time it gathers new and new words, new and new terminology, and in this way they develop it. Next point. A vast country like India, a vast country like India with numerous languages, a vast country like India with numerous languages, NUMEROUS, a vast country like India with numerous languages needs one particular language, needs one particular language to fight against the British rule, to fight against the British rule. Full stop. Now understand this point. When we are doing movement against British were exploiting us, torturing us, killing us, uh, compelling us to do labor without any financial support, without giving us money, bonded labors. And all the people of different provinces trying to express their protest. But how can they express their protest unless there is a language, there's a medium? So there should be something. And so people feel the need that with which they can represent their views. So the protest of the people from Bengal can be understood to the people of Bihar, to the people of Madras.
So they tried to find out something. Next point. With that political aim, that was a political aim. With that political aim, it does not mean politics in the modern sense, in the present sense. It means political here means in which we want to have the freedom of the country. With that, next point, with that political aim, the contemporary leadership of India, with that political aim, the contemporary leadership of India selected Khari Boli, KHRI hyphen Boli, BOLI, within bracket, Hindi usually spoken in northwestern India and
Ma'am,
Delhi.
pardon, please, ma'am. With the political aim,
With the political aim, the contemporary leadership of India selected Khari Boli, Khari KHRI hyphen Boli, BOLI underline, Khari Boli in its Hindi Urdu combination, Khari Boli in its Hindi Urdu combination, there are Hindi and Urdu both words, as the tool, as the medium, as the tool, TOOL, to send their messages, to send their messages, to send their messages to the common mass, to the common mass, MASS, mass means common people, to fight the enemy of British rulers, to fight the enemy of British rulers. Full stop. Full stop. Next point. A debate over language. A debate over language, comma, a national language. Debate over language, a national language, started in India during started in India during 1920s. 1920s. Full stop. Next point. After independence, after independence, the problem was not solved. And so many language battles were fought. After independence, this problem was not solved. And a number of language battles were fought. FOU, full stop. Next point. Language is
number so many language
language battles were fought.
battles.
Language battle. Everybody is saying that our language should be the national language. Everybody. And still now, people belonging to southern part of India are very angry that why Hindi should be the national language. That is a burning problem. Next point. May I go to next point?
Yes, ma'am.
Next point.
Yes.
Language is power. Language is power. Without language, you cannot do anything. And in India, it is the part of the social process. And it is the part of the social process where
Power is where power is created and wielded. Where power is created and wielded. Power is created and wielded, full stop. So, in modern India, it is accumulated. So, in modern India, it is accumulated in the hands of the people, the hands of the people, comma, the elite, elite is a new word, E-L-I-T. Elite means those who are highly educated, polished, cultured, elite. In the hands of elite who are who who are uh, speaking and knowing English Indians. Who are the Indians knowing and speaking English? Who are the Indians knowing and speaking English? Who are the Indians knowing and speaking English? Knowing and speaking English, full stop. Understand this. So language is power. After independence, no solution came. Now ultimately what happened? As because our official language is English, power is concentrated to the hands of those people who know English, and most of them are elite people, most of them are rich people, most of them are those who can afford their sons and daughters to get the English education, thereby power is accumulated in their hands. Next point. India's national language cannot be Hindi. India's national language cannot be Hindi or Urdu.
Ma'am, India is
India's national language, India's, India apostrophe S, cannot be India's national language cannot be Hindi because it is full of Sanskrit scripts and neither Urdu because Urdu is full of Arabic and Persian words. Because Urdu is full of Arabic and Persian words. Full stop. Last para. Last point. Last point. It should be it should be a language LGG that can be understood. It should be a language that can be understood by every Indian. It should be a language that can be understood by every Indian from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. A language that can be understood by everybody from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. From Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So from Kashmir to Kanyakumari. So we have completed this part. We have completed this part. Write a history of the write down the question. Write a history of the Hindi as Indian language. as Indian national language and write a history of Hindi as Indian national language and its problems and its problems and its problems and its problems. Problems. So the next lesson that I am going to start is from block 2. Block 2. Block 2, Unit 2. We have completed Unit 1. Unit 1, we will prepare two questions. One is Hindi or Hindabi, that Amir Khusro and other things. And from next part, you will prepare the story of Hindi as a national language, how it happened, why it happened, what are its problems, what could be done. These are, and nothing. Now come to page number 16 of Unit 2. Block 2, we are continuing. Unit 2. Unit 2, page number 16, there is a poem, Ghazal, a reading of Khusro's Ghazal. We have two poems in this unit. One is Ghazal by Amir Khusro, and there is another poem called Hindi by Raghubir Sahai. Both these poems, you will read it because you have to write explanation from the poems. So have you got the text? May I start with it? May I start?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Write down. Yes. Write down one thing. Introduction. Amir Khusro's Ghazal. We will read it. First read the poem and then we will write down something and then again read and explain it. First read it. We have been writing for a long time. Just read it. This is a ghazal. 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 Ghazal comes from the Persian word ghazala. Ghazala means a kind of deer, hood, looking very beautiful with soft, innocent eyes and looking very pure. Ghazala, deer, represents innocence and purity. From that word came the ghazal. Uh, Forget me not, the sorrowful. Talk to me with your eyes, dear heart. I cannot bear the sorrow of parting. Keep me well within your heart. Long as traces the night of parting, the day of love is short as life. If I see not my love, O friend, how can I spend the dark nights of grief? Two magic eyes with 100 charms have put my sad heart's race to flight. Now who would care to go and tell dear love my sad and lonely plight? As a candle lit, as an atom struck, no sleep in my eyes, no rest in my heart, banished, alas, from that moon's grace. He sends no news nor shows his face. On the day of love, for truth, Khosrow, the loved one, tricked me and went away. If I could find him, I will keep him in my heart with love always. So, one thing you can understand that it is a love poem. The theme is of love. The theme is love and beauty and the sensuous feeling, the sweet feeling that a human bonding creates, that is created by the relationship between two persons. Forget me not, the sorrowful. Talk to me with your eyes, dear heart. I cannot bear the sorrow of parting. Keep me well within your heart. The lover is saying that forget me not. Don't keep me away from your heart, from your memory. the sorrowful. You are also full of sorrow. Perhaps the lover and the lady love are being departed. And on that moment of separation, he is telling this. Talk to me with your eyes. You are being separated from me. Maybe they are looking at each other from a distance. And he says, talk to me with your eyes. You can't talk to me verbally, but talk with your eyes. Your eyes are so beautiful. Talk with them. Have expression through your eyes. Dear heart, you are my heart. Means the lover is calling the lady love as his heart. I cannot bear the sorrow of parting. To part means to be separated. I cannot bear the sorrow of departure from you. Keep me well within your heart. Keep me within your heart. Keep me within your body. Keep me within your own self. Take me within you. Make me a part of your existence. So I will not be separated from you. Long as the traces. So these first 5 lines, we see the picture of a lover who is a man and who is uh, unable to bear the pains of separation from his lady love. And then next lines. This is also expression of love, but we will get a sort of difference. Long as traces the night of parting, the day of love is short as life. If I see not my love, O friend, how can I spend dark nights of grief? There is a friend, O friend. The person is talking to a friend. He is addressing a friend. This friend is not the lover. O friend, I am lamenting to you that my days are full of sadness. What type of days? Long as traces. Trace means long black hair, long hair. Hair is called trace. Long as traces the night of parting. The night of separation is full of darkness. There is no joy. There is no light. There is no mirth. Therefore, it is compared with the darkness. What type of darkness? Darkness of the hair, human hair, long hair. Here is the suggestion of the long open hair of a woman, of the lady love, some romantic association. Long as trace the night of parting, the night of separation is long as the traces, as the dark long hair, full of darkness. They are so long that I cannot spend them quickly. Whereas the day of love is short as life. Human life is short. And also the day, if we compare between the day and night, day means a part of life which is full of activity, which is full of people. You can talk with other persons. That way you can spend your daytime easily, quickly. Also, the time when you have your lover, when you have your dear one with you, that time seems to be short. The day of love, when my lover was with me, that was like a day, it was short. Whereas the previous time was separation, the previous line, it was long. If I see not my love, O friend, how can I spend the dark nights of grief? If I cannot have a look of my beloved, my lover, how can I spend the night of separation which is so long? Next verse. How can I spend the dark night? Oh, sorry. Two magic eyes with 100 charms have put my sad heart's race to fly. Now who would care to go and tell, dear love, my sad and lonely fly? Two magic eyes with 100 charms. The eyes are beautiful. Maybe it is the eyes of the lady love. Now write down something, introduction on Ghazal, and then we will again come to text. I have not finished text. Introduction. Ghazal was composed. Ghazal was composed by Amir Khusro more than 700 years ago. Ghazal was composed by Khusro more than 700 years ago. In early medieval India, full stop. At that time, it was a new art form. At that time, it was a new art form. It was a new art form with its own rhyme scheme, rhyme scheme spelling RHYME, with its own rhyme scheme, full stop. Ghazals were remarkable for, ghazals were remarkable for,
Ma'am, is this the second point?
yes, you can write down a second
Hello,
point.
ma'am.
Okay, you can
Okay,
write
ma'am.
down. Ghazals were, what is it? Ghazals were remarkable for their focus on, ghazals were remarkable for their focus on delicate feelings, delicate feelings, delicate feelings, and musical note. Full stop. Amir Khusro, in his ghazals, Amir Khusro, in his ghazals, made use of Persian, Hindi, and Brajabhasha. Persian, Hindi, and Brajabhasha, and sometimes all the three in one poem, and sometimes all the three in one poem. Full stop. This particular ghazal, যেটা আমরা পড়ছি এইটা, it was written in, this particular ghazal was originally written in Awadhi. Awadhi is a Hindi dialect. It was written in Awadhi, A capital AWADHI. Awadhi is a Hindi dialect. It was originally written in Awadhi, a dialect of Hindi. A dialect of Hindi. Next point. Ghazal comes from the word ghazala. The same word, only just one extra A. Ghazal comes from the word ghazala, Ghazala. A particular kind of female deer, a particular kind of female deer, a particular kind of female deer found in Persia, found in Persia, and famous for its
And particular kind of deer.
deer, D-E-E-R, deer, particular kind of deer found in Persia, found in Persia, remarkable for its innocence and purity. Remarkable for its innocence and purity. Innocence and purity. Innocence and purity. This poem also creates a delicate, sensuous feeling, a delicate, sensuous feeling felt by the lovers, by the lovers as a result of their perfect human bonding, as a result of their perfect human bonding, bonding. Full stop. Full stop. The theme here is conventional. Next point. The theme here is conventional. The same theme, love, separation, I'm feeling sad, time is not passing. All these are conventional. But imagery, imagery are exceptional, and they are Khosrow's own. Imagery are exceptional. Imagery are exceptional. Imageries are exceptional. Okay, full stop. Come to the text again. We'll finish it. Are you understanding the meaning? I think it is not very difficult. We have been up to grief, isn't it? So, two magic eyes with 100 charms have put my sad heart's race to fly. The poet says, the lover says, that the beauty of the magical eyes of the lady love, with their thousand charming appeal, have taken away my rest, heart's rest to fly. It is gone. Heart's race to flight means it has flown away, flight. My rest of my heart has gone away. I am suffering from the pain of peacelessness because my peace has been taken away by the charming beauty of the eyes of the lady love. Now, who would care to go and tell dear love my sad and lonely plight? Plight means luck, kopal, P-L-I-G-H-T, plight. The lover says, who is there, my dear friend? Is there anyone who will go and tell to my beloved that how I am suffering, how lonely and sad my luck is, I am alone? Come to next line. As a candle lit, as an atom struck, no sleep in my eyes, no rest in my heart, banished, alas, from that moon's grace. He sends no news, mark it. He sends no news. He. Now these lines are not spoken by the lover. These lines are spoken by the lady love, by the beloved. This as a candle from here, Khosrow's point of view is going to the lady. So the poet is sometimes becoming the man and sometimes the woman. He was so long speaking through the man, and now he is speaking as the woman. The woman says, as a candle lit, I am like a candle. I am burning myself. I have burnt my soul for the sake of my beloved. An atom struck, I am like an atom which has started its work. I cannot have any sleep in my eyes, road, no rest in my heart, vanished. All the rest are vanished. The same thing that the boy had said, that the man had said. Vanished, alas, from the moon's rays. He sends no news, the lady says. My lover is not sending any news, nor shows his face. I have not seen his face for a long time. Therefore, I am like a burning candle. I am being exhausted. I am like a struck atom who has started to run but can stop. And I have lost all my peace. He sends no news, not shows his face. Be careful, where after which Khosrow is a man, and after which he is coming and entering into the mouth of a woman, lady love. On the day of love for truth, Khosrow, the loved one tricked me and went away. Khosrow says that on the day of love, when I am suffering from the fever of love, truly speaking, the person whom I have loved, he had tricked me. He had made some trick on me. He had as if made magic on me and went away. If I could find him, I will keep and him in my heart with love always. If I can uh, get him, if I can find him, I'll keep within my heart bound. I will keep him bound within my heart. So the last 8 lines are spoken by the lady love. I will keep him. That means these are all spoken by the lady love. So it is okay the meaning. You will have to know the. You will write down the summary for 10 marks. Write down the summary and what you have to do may have to do in explanation. That explanation, when you will write down the assignments, I will tell about how to write down explanation. Now our last item is in page number 22. Students, is it clear? Okay. Please open your mic, tell one at least. Yes, it is okay.
Yes, ma'am. It's okay.
Okay, okay. Now go to page number 22. Page number 22 is another poem by another poet, Raghuveer Shah. The name of the poem is Hindi. Something about Hindi we have come to know previously, how Hindi came to be a national language, what it originally means. Hindi word originally means anyone belonging to India who is a Hindi. He may be a Muslim, he may be a Kashmiri, he may be a Christian, but he is Hindi in the primitive sense that Amir Khusro used. But Hindi later came to know as modern Hindi, mm, and which is now our national language, Hindi. May I go to the text itself, the poem? Raghuveer Shah was a Hindi poet, a short story writer, essayist, literary critic, translator, journalist. He was the chief editor of the political social Hindi weekly Dinaman from 1969 to 82. He was awarded 84 Sahitya Academy Award in Hindi for poetry collection लोग भूल गए हैं लोग भूल गए हैं. So let us start the poem. We were fighting a language battle to change society. But the question of Hindi is no longer simply a question of Hindi. We have lost it. Oh, good soldier, know when you are beaten. And now, that question, which we just referred to in connection with the so called language battle, let us put it this way. Were we and those on the were we and those on behalf of whom we fought the same foe? Or were we in fact the agents of our oppression, sympathetic, well meaning, well schooled agents? Those, the masters and slaves. The slaves are those who are not masters. If Hindi belongs to masters, then in what language shall we fight for freedom? The demand for Hindi is now a demand for better treatment, not rights put by agents to their slave masters. They use Hindi in place of English, while the fact is that their masters use English in place of Hindi. The two of them have struck a deal. He who exposes this hypocrisy will dispose of Hindi slavery. This will be the one who, when he speaks Hindi, will show us what simple folk really feel. The poet starts with Hindi as a fight. In my previous lesson, I had said that there were several language battles. People have fought several battles so that a particular language can have its own importance. In course of time, Hindi got the place of national language. But Raghuveer Shah is not satisfied with it. He says, we were fighting a language battle to change society. From the British period, we were fighting this language battle. Why? Because we wanted a language so that that language could be understood by even the lowest person of the society. So to change the society, we have started language battle. Clear? But the question of Hindi is no longer simply a question of Hindi. But the question of Hindi has no longer remained a question of Hindi because no one is thinking of having a Hindi or a national language. They have lost that battle. Hindi is no longer told and spoken by everyone. Oh, good soldier, know when you are beaten. And that language battle was fought by not only one person, one leader, but thousands and thousands of common men like us fought the battle. They were the soldier. Now, soldier, he is lamenting. Raghuveer Sahai is asking the common man that you were the soldier of the battlefield. Now, good soldier, know that you are battle, you are beaten, you are defeated. And now that question which we just referred to in connection with the so-called language battle, let us put it in this way. That language battle that you have fought, for which you have sacrificed everything, it has been lost. If you can want to put it in this way, you can put it in this way. What this way? Where we and those on behalf of whom we fought the same foe, he is asking, are we the same person who have fought this battle for our leaders? He is trying to say that the leaders had initiated us, had incited us, has excited thousands of common men to fight the battle of national language. And when the reality came, those leaders took the place of power and they had forgotten it. So he says, were we in fact uh, now can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. We were what were we those on behalf of whom we fought? Were we the same person who were fighting against the enemy on behalf of our leaders, the same foe? Or were we, in fact, the agents of our oppressors? Our leaders, who were the leaders, now have turned into our oppressors, now have changed their side. Now, after getting independence, now after getting power, they have become our oppressor. So can we tell any longer that we are the same persons we were fighting for them? Sympathetic, well-meaning, well-schooled agents, those oppressors, those people who were our leaders previously, who led us, they are now sympathetic, good-behaved, well-meaning, English-educated agents. They are now the agents of the English. Those the masters are slaves. Now, the lines are full of paradox, means contradictory meanings. Unless you read it properly, unless you understand the meaning, you won't get the meaning. Those, the masters are slaves, those people who are the leaders, who are now in power, are the masters. Those masters and other coolie and laborers, they are doing the thing. So the line meaning those the masters are slaves. Those who are the masters, actually they are slaves to the slaves who are doing the actual manual work. Is it clear to you? Students, is it clear? Is it clear? This line only. Those the masters, those who are actually masters, are the leaders, are the rulers. They can't do anything. They take the help of the common people. Therefore, they are the slaves. They are bound by the word to the common man. They are slaves, whereas we common men, who are their slaves, who are the slaves of the masters, are those who are not masters. We are not masters. We don't know that actually the real power lies with us, the common man. Those people standing in the higher place, sitting in the chairs, are getting their works done by ordinary common people like us. And thereby they are getting the mastery. And we common people, we don't know that we are the actual masters. We are in the actual control of things. If we don't do anything, they won't be able to remain in their chair. Is it clear? Is it clear, students? Please tell at least one of
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Their slaves are those who are not masters. Their slaves are those who are not masters. We could have been masters with the slaves if we could have understood the reality that we are the real worker. They are not doing anything. If we protest, if we don't do anything, they won't be able to do anything. So therefore, we are the real masters. And therefore, because knowing our real power, we have given slaves. If Hindi belongs to masters, then in what language shall we fight for freedom? If Hindi belongs to masters, then in what language shall we fight for freedom? Demand for better treatment, not right, not by agents to their slave masters. The demand for Hindi is no longer a demand uttered, spoken by the people belonging to the leadership, people enjoying power. This is now a demand to showing that how we are trying to give you good treatment and put by the agents to their slave masters. Those agents, we have turned ourselves into agents of our masters. Agent is someone who is not a good idea. We commonly feel, but by obeying the people in power, by obeying the leaders, we are making ourselves as the agents of those people who have baffled the meaning of language battle, who have made the language battle false, meaningless. The use of Hindi, the use of Hindi, sorry, 1 minute. Actually, my text, I have to, what was the page number? 22. Where we had been? Please tell me the line.
They use Hindi in place of English. To their slave masters, they use Hindi in place of English.
Ah, ah, right. Mhm. They use Hindi in place of English, while the fact is that their masters use English in place of Hindi. We, common people, who are actually would have been masters, we want to use Hindi in place of English. We want a national language, not English. While actually our masters, whose orders we are obeying, they are using English in place of Hindi. And the two, both us and the leaders, they have struck a deal. They have made a pact. Yes, we will not disturb you, leader, and leader, you will not disturb us. We here, Raghuveer Saha's attack is on middle class people. We, the middle class people, we who had fought the battle, not we, but our forefathers, battle for a national language, we have forgot our idealism. We have rather thought, we have rather started to think that in order to have a comfortable, easy, peaceful life, we should learn English. Why should learn Hindi? Therefore, we have struck a deal. He who exposes this hypocrisy will dispose of Hindi's slavery. And if anyone can break, can dispose of, can expose this hypocrisy, can break out this hypocrisy, that what type of complacency with the people are. We know that what is happening. In spite of that, we are not doing anything. If anyone could have broken this, then there would have been an end to Hindi slavery. This will be the one who, when he speaks Hindi, will show us what simple folk really feel. This will happen then when a person, an Indian, all Indian, when he will speak Hindi, when he will speak a national language, Hindi here represents national language, will show us that what that language is spoken not by the elites, not by the highly educated persons, not by the persons belonging to higher and middle class, but which is spoken by every simple folk. Only then there will be an end to this tragedy. Okay, clear? This is a burning problem in our country. I myself, I am a person of literature and language. I myself don't know how it will be solved. It is really a problem. So you will write down the summary of the poem Hindi. Okay, is it clear? I think so that I can conclude my class. Next day we will start with unit 3. Next day your class will be started with unit 3, same time. Please closely follow the notice. I will send the link. And those who are not included in our group, please call me after 7. But be patient with me. I am an old person. I am not very easy doing all these technical things. Okay. Um, so this is for today. Let us have a good day. And one student is there. I cannot remember. Subhanita perhaps. Regarding whose um, uh, assignment I have to tell you something.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Can I tell you?
मैम वॉइस क्लियर नहीं आ रही है हेलो मैम
Shubhanita, I have my battery finished, completely finished. Okay.
ओके मैम
Okay. So let us leave the class. Okay.
ओके मैम थैंक
Okay.
यू
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.